Hey, what's up, everybody? Another sober Saturday. Past a year and a month now. We're still going strong. I just wanted to make a video on how things could always be worse. I'm just ad-libbing and improvising at this point, and I don't know when this will get uploaded. Maybe today, maybe in a week. I'm trying to make a backlog so I can just throw ad-lib out there, man. Just going off the cuff. Things could always be worse. Today, one of my pixel frames fell off the wall and damaged my Alvarez, my cutaway back there. I was pretty upset, but it's how you react in this life, you know, and I reacted all right. I was pretty upset for a little bit, but it was my own fault. I knew I should have rearranged, and I didn't, and what I thought may happen happened, you know, and if you have that thought, just fix the problem before it happens. So now I got to get some wood glue and sand it down and tend to my guitar. It's not in a bad spot, thankfully, but it's still just, as like having OCD and being a perfectionist, it really bothers me. My Martins are in the cases, but that's the one I go to mainly to play. It's frustrating, but life goes on. It's my own fault. But things could always be worse. I know I've covered this in the past. There's people starving in different countries. There's people that don't have homes or living on the street. They have severe health conditions. There's people that are paralyzed, you know, paraplegic, quadriplegic, people missing limbs, sight, hearing, people are deaf. I mean, if you take your situation, odds are there's someone in a worse situation, right? So it's hard to be grateful for what you have and where you are in life. And a lot of people take having like shelter and a bed and food for granted. And I do too sometimes. But it could always be worse. And every week I try to remind myself of that. I mentioned a quote before in the past. I used to always want a very nice pair of shoes, a very expensive pair of shoes, until I met a man with no feet. It goes like that, or it goes, I've always wanted shoes because I've never had them until I've met a man with no feet. One of those two ways. It just makes you really think, to make you be more grateful, because I still fall in the pitfall of not being grateful when there's a lot of people out there that would absolutely love to be in my situation. I mean, and there's people in situations I'd love to be in, right? It's always relative. And yeah, I'm very blessed, and I try to remind myself of that. It's just the brain, you know, that depression, the anxiety, it's always there, and it can hold you down, and it can play tricks on you and stuff. Well, you got to counteract that. But yeah, I wonder if this is even. This looks a little weird. Apologize. So yeah, things could always be worse. Every day try to remind yourself of that. When I'm working and I don't want to work, I remind myself I like to buy things. I like to invest my money. I like to pay my bills and be an adult. And I'll remind myself of the times I didn't have any money, or I was broke, going through hard times, and I'll keep going. I'll keep trucking. You got to really play that mind game with yourself with working out. Do you want to get fat again, or do you want to be fat? You know, I've been there. I don't want to go back. You know, same with alcohol and nicotine and stuff. You have to constantly remind yourself it's a daily battle, and it can be exhausting. But you just don't give up. You keep trucking forward, you know. You just give it your all. And that's all there is to it. Once again, I apologize for the AC. Like my guitar damage. Yeah, it sucks. And it's still affecting me hours later. But I'll get over it. And it's very minuscule, you know, in the broad scope of things. And it will, like, I'll obsess on it, but life goes on, man. A lot worse things happen to people today. And that's the truth. But yeah, just a quick video. I'm not gonna push this one on too long. Just keep that in your mind, and always be considerate of other people. I need to work on this. Maybe realize they're not having a good day. Maybe they're going through some things. Maybe that's why they act the way they do. And it's hard to... I'm a very empathetic person, but sometimes that'll go out the window when I'm angry, right? And you got to realize some people... Everyone's battling something. You may not know it. They may not know that about you. But there's usually a fine-tuned reason why people act the way they do. And sometimes we can have a veil over our eyes and our ears and not really pay attention or wonder or know. And we act accordingly, right? But yeah, try to be nice and be loving. And this goes for me too. Definitely far from perfect. Take it easy.